Right, we are live. It is another Saturday night, 7 p.m. ish. Thank you, everybody, for joining. As always, it's Pat, and tonight we got Matt. Thank you for joining, buddy.
Part of my yawn. I just woke up.
Yeah, see,
Standard 7 p.m. wake up time.
we do very different schedules for our sleep cycles.
Yeah, third shift sometimes is a little bit of a beast. I like it a lot, but there are some downsides.
Yeah, man, I can
Speaking of
imagine.
downsides,
Yeah, I've
Aetherdrift.
done some overnight shifts before. I did 9 to 5 in the morning job, and that was definitely interesting. I served coffee in like a hick town in the middle of nowhere. It just had like the only diesel pumps for like 25 miles. So yeah, that was definitely a weird job. Speaking of weird jobs, man, people that make Magic the Gathering, goodness gracious, there are some crazy people at the helm today. Hey, speaking of crazy people, Time Capsule, thank you for showing. Great to see you, man. I just don't know who's making these decisions nowadays. I don't think the whole set for Aether Drift has been spoiled yet, but there are pages and pages of cards I was pouring through in prep for the show tonight. And I gotta say, I think the only theme is race cars. And even with that, like, this is a pretty wild set. They are all over the place, especially when it comes to their artwork, which we'll definitely cover a bit later on in the show. I don't know, Matt, what are your early thoughts on Aether Drift from what you've been seeing?
I can't stand the starter engines crap. I don't know. There's something about it that's so it's almost it's more cheesy to me than even SpongeBob. Like I'd rather play a SpongeBob card than say start your engines and my speed is increasing. I don't know. Like there's something weird about it. And I'm not even against like
increase my max speed by 1. Go.
I have 2 race cars. Well, race cars. I've got a Nissan 370Z and a Subaru WRX. They're
your 370
cars.
looks hot, like ready to go.
Like,
You're like, yeah.
I'm not like opposed to race cars or anything like that. And like I don't know. It's just something about it in my Magic the Gathering game.
This is like a 12-year-old's version of race cars, though. That's what's kind of wild to me.
Yeah, like start your engines.
Style they went with.
I don't ever want to say that. Like I don't know. It just sounds something's off about it. I don't like it.
Mechanically, I think that it's interesting. Yeah. So we got 2 new mechanics for the set. Start your engine, including max speed. Along with that, exhaust. I believe that that's a new mechanic for the set. If not, then it's a very old throwback.
It's a new mechanic, but it's labeled the same, which is weird. They're used to. I'm fairly certain there was a mechanic called exhaust that was like, you can give it. What was it? You could give it haste, and then it would be stunned the next turn.
So might as well share one of the cards I've been looking at. Is Loot Pathfinder. Now, if this looks a little bit busy, I think it's because it is. We got a lot going on with this one. And it's got 3 different types of exhaust on it, with green tap, add 3 mana of any one color, blue tap, draw 3, red tap, does 3 damage to any target. I think as a commander, this is a very interesting card. And I mean, as far as the artwork, this is bombastic. There's a lot to go through here. And
yeah, Loot is actually my honorary mention of like my favorite card from the set.
Hey, what up, Green Grass? Cheers to you, brother. Yeah, so this is your honorary mention for the set, huh?
Yeah, it's the second card that I looked at that I went, ooh, I kind of want to make that as my commander.
Now, it's interesting. 5 as a CMC is a little bit high. Do you think that it would be an issue getting this in? Probably not, right? Because it's got green.
I mean, the moment I see the green mana symbol, I'm like, all right, I'll be there in turn 3.
Right. Now, as far as the artwork, I think that this is so interesting. How they presented the art on the card. We'll start with that. The framing from the very top, you see that black framing, and it looks like the ground at the bottom, it goes from edge to edge. So you have a very stylistic choice on how they presented the anime artwork on this. I think that this is a phenomenal looking card. This is like a Saturday morning cartoon I would watch. But as far as Magic, this is so different. This looks like an incredible proxy or a secret lair card. I
Well,
I,
that's the
I think
Japanese
they knocked it
showcase,
out of the
right?
park with this.
Well, that's the Japanese showcase, right? Like that. The thing that's interesting to me about it, like it's fine. The art is fine and all. It's a little hard to read, but um, and I noticed that with it being the Japanese showcase, it's in English. I think this is the first time they've done a Japanese showcase in English. Most of the time, they're in Japanese.
I'm not sure.
When I was looking through all of those, all the showcase cards are supposed to be Japanese, like anime showcase cards, and normally they're in Japanese.
All the cards I've been looking at so far have all been in English. And as you were just saying there, I think that collecting this set is going to be incredibly difficult. Best of luck to any sellers, flippers, scalpers out there. Anybody who's trying to figure out what edition of these cards they've got, I think this is going to be quite difficult for that.
Yeah, there's 5
Between
versions of loot.
yeah, right. We're back into this version again. And they are all starkly different. That's one of the big things.
Wow.
3 of them look different, and then there's 2 that blend in with everything else. But there are so many different art styles in this set. And I've got a couple of different cards pulled up, so we can go through a few of those. I don't know who decided to make. I mean, as we said in our chat, Bright Glass Gear Hulk, 2 green, 2 white. This is just straight up a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right?
Yeah, when you first linked it, I was like, oh, that's just Exodia.
Yeah, I am just baffled, and
I'm not.
Really,
Nah, I mean,
you're handling it better than I am.
I don't think it doesn't bother me at all. I don't think it like. I don't know if it was intended to be an Exodia copy, but like sure as fuck looks like Exodia.
Yo, absolutely.
It doesn't bother me at all, though.
What
I
up,
used to play
Coach?
Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, so that's
I
fine.
never played Yu-Gi-Oh. Those cards are just so dang small. I like the TV show,
I wish I
though.
would have kept my cards from when I was a kid.
Love that
I had
show.
some spicy meatballs. They definitely went
There's
from the
also a
spicy
great
places.
like abridged episode series for that. I'm going to beat your grandfather so bad at cards he can't walk anymore. Like that's just a phenomenal line. And as far as
Sure.
cards, I think this is a cool card. It's not very often that I'm into the artifact enchantment kind of tutoring stuff, but first strike, trample on a 4/4, not too bad. When this creature enters, can search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. Reveal them, put it in your hand, and shuffle. With white, you're going to be able to blink this pretty frequently. So I think this is a cool little card.
Yeah, mana value 1 or less makes it fairly limiting. I mean, obviously you can get Soul Ring and you can get Esper Sentinel are the 2 like first main cards
Well, you
that
can get
really
all
like
those
pop
moxes
out.
that they're reprinting.
Yeah, the Chrome Mox, of course. I don't know that you'll be playing Chrome Mox in a deck with Bright Glass Gearhulk. I mean, he is an artifact, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really foresee that. Typically, when you're playing a Chrome Mox, you're playing in like a fairly try hard deck. Like I don't know, like even my play group we don't even play Chrome Mox. We don't really play those like free Cheerio mana rocks that like accelerate the game so fast that it's like turn 3 and you're winning. Typically we win by like turn like 5 to 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd say my pod's usually, if it's a really fast game, 7, but realistically it's like 8 to 12. That's our normal play group style. A little bit slower, a little bit lower powered. So First place foil is what they're calling this, Matt.
Yeah.
I It's
I have to
interesting that
imagine it
Wizards
just
of the
looks
Coast is
better in
getting
person.
sponsored now by Golden's Mustard. You know, this is just gross looking to me.
I'm hoping it looks better in person because in picture it looks terrible. It has to look
That's
better in person. That's the only explanation I can give it because it
and
just looks
there's a
like
lot of
yellow.
these. There's
Well,
a
I know
whole lot of these.
there's 127 of them.
Yeah.
Actually, there's more than that. There's 137 because there's five normal basic lands, five. There's 127 mythics and rares, and then I think there's another 5 other basic lands. I know that specific basic land you can only get from the box toppers. These first place foils can only be obtained from the box toppers, which is interesting with the box topper situation. Um,
Yeah, right. Do you have
I
any
don't
great
know I like this box topper better, but like this like version of box toppers better than the ones in the past. Like the one where there was just like it was like the same card in every pack. That's stupid.
Okay. Yeah, as in like the way that they're giving you a larger pool to get cards from.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's like
Okay.
most of the time the box toppers felt like who cares? They should be fun. They're
Yeah.
one pack in the entire box. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like one card. Two cards maybe
It's two
in
cards.
the
It's
double
one
master.
basic land and it's one full art basic and then whatever a rare or a mythic from the set. And it can either
Oh,
be
absolutely.
in
And I
the
mean,
normal
when
first place
I
foil or like a special. There's like 2 different versions, I think.
excuse me. When I was opening a lot of Ikoria, they came with box toppers, and those oftentimes were a big hit. And they did a similar thing, reasonably large size pool of cards to pull from, and then you could get some of the most incredible cards, you know, Mothra, stuff like that, you know, really bombastic, out of the world stuff. So I gotta say, yeah, for those will not be in collector boxes, correct? The box toppers, it's only going to be in play boxes.
No, the box toppers are only in collector boxes.
Oh, that's odd.
That's how they've always been. Box toppers have always been in. Well, I guess that's not true. Maybe that's
No,
wrong. Maybe it's in both.
box toppers are traditionally not in collectors and only in draft boxes. Not the buy a
Control
box promos,
box
but like,
topper. Okay, so it says the first place box topper packs contain 2 cards, and they are in both play boosters and collectors. So they're in both.
okay,
I
good to
thought I
know.
remember reading that it specifically said it was only in the collector boxes, but it looks like they're in both.
And I mean, $20 current pre-sale market price on this mustard laden island.
Some of them don't look bad. One of the versions of the Frog Lady, which I already forgot her name, Sab Sunanen. This card here.
And the special bundle too, coach says. Interesting.
I don't think it's in the special bundle. I think it's just the collector box. See
Samsuna.
this one because it already has yellow in the art, it makes it look slightly less bad.
There's
I
other
think the
versions of
biggest
that card that don't have yellow in the background.
well, there's another one here that also has yellow in the background that looks okay. It almost looks full bordered, except for they have the border.
It looks like they the double feature, except instead of whitewashing or gray washing everything, they just put Golden's mustard on everything.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, there's a lot of these cards. The majority
There's
of
like
them look
12
bad.
different art styles. Like it's very odd to me as we go through these cards. Like it seems like
Yeah, you've got
different
like
properties.
comic book art style. You've got I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't.
rat racer stuff, like things you'd see on the side of a chop shop race car or something.
Well, but Rat Race makes sense if you're talking about Aether Drift because it's like very start your engines. Her. I don't know. This guy looks kind of cool. See, I feel
What
like
is
these,
it?
like when it's not the full card, when it's not the yellow, the full yellow border looks unfinished. It looks honestly, it looks fake. This looks fake to me. This looks like it's an
It
unfinished
looks like a
card.
secret lair. That's what that really
Nah,
says to
this
me
looks
is a bunch of these
this looks
cards look like
terrible.
they were secret lairs because we've had some that looked so similar to that.
Like I think this card looks pretty sick. I like this.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm
Catcher.
looking at.
What do you
That's
mean?
fine.
It's a giant like mech looking guy. Oil. He's like a mech made
Is
of
it?
oil. Yeah,
It just
looks
looks
fine
like
to
a
me.
bunch of schmears. It's a bunch of schmears, Matt.
I don't even know what this guy does. When he enters, look at the top. Look at target player's hand. You can choose a card, discard if you. Oh, that's it. It's pretty bad. But yeah, Ketramose is my favorite card, not that one. That's the sexy frog, by the way. For
I
the chat
mean,
that
she's
doesn't.
thick.
And then she's a thick girl, and then like
It's the
she's got a
opposite of
different
the
version
Little
of her.
Mermaid.
It makes no sense. Like again, we're talking about different arts. From what I saw, they were using different artists for different like this. Like this looks completely different. These cards don't even look the same. Like you've got like a thick frog that has like a nice like elegant body, but then a frog head.
It's a
But
very
then this
feminine
one,
figure, and then this
this is
goes to
just like
like
what happened.
it's a dwarf frog,
Yeah,
strong muscle mommy, but
fatter, muscly arms, thicker head. It's just everything just looks different about it, and it's just because they're different artists. There's Benjamin something or other, Benjamin X versus Valera Lut. And I'm not saying that like I'm just saying they're inconsistent. The inconsistencies of the set is wild. Like it's very. I think Catcher Most looks the same in both. Well, not really.
I mean, not even close. Like one's a giant towering god figure, and then the other is just like some trippy poster. Like this,
He just looks like a normal man that has like
when I
a
look at
wolf.
this card, I smell incense.
I don't. You talk about the blobs. I don't mind all of the like the wisps of everything. It's like almost like it's like a energy being sucked in or out from the area. I don't mind it. It's not like this. It's better than this.
That doesn't
This
look
just
done.
looks
Yeah,
unfinished. It looks fake. Like I have this website that I go to for making my own cards. I think it is. Where's it at?
as he just logs into his bank account in front of everybody.
Card Conjurer. So this Card Conjurer, this has like the ability to like make your own make your own cards. Yellow frame. Here we go. How do I? There we go. So like it looks like this. Like it looks like so unfinished. Like you forgot to fill in details.
It's an incredibly uniform color across everything, and it's
actually this just looks better because it's not uniform
so
like
drenched.
you're saying.
Yeah, there's at least a gradient to that. Whereas the new cards that we're seeing out of Aether Drift, they're just so uniform in their coloring across the whole scheme in some of these cards. And then again, I mean, as we were just noting, there are so many different versions of artwork in these. I've seen like 4 different versions of the Aether Spark already. And same thing with Chandra. God, she's always doing the yo, what up, Newell Brain? It's nice to see Chandra doing the Akira slide, though.
There's the video that shows, this right here. Let me see here. Let me open video in new tab. So there's this one. It shows like the first place. It's got tire squealing and shit. It's really bad. Anyways, it's got like, it shows them in like action, and they look less bad here. They look more golden than yellow. But the problem is that these are the ones that are like shiny. These are not they're not these. Well, where's the other guy? They're not the yellow one. They're not these. They're like special
The
first
showcase fracture foils,
like these. Yeah, you can see like some of like these are like full art. These have like less mustard. They have like only the mustard banner at the bottom, but then you get the full mustard. I guess this isn't even full mustard, but it looks full mustard. It's just all yellow.
That's pretty full mustard. That's 80% mustard. First place.
I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of some of the cards from the set.
Some of the singles, yeah.
What is your thoughts about these lands? These are like the
This is the first time I'm seeing this.
There's
Uh
one for each. There's like one for each like kind of racer. So like there's
it,
the
it
planes.
reminds me of slot cars, like back, early 90s, late 80s stuff, where it was like the little car go 100 miles an hour, zing, zing, zing around the track, kind of like that. It's weird that it's a first person view. You can see like the pilot's hands down at the bottom. I guess that's
Yeah,
the
that's what it's
cockpit
designed to
of the
be, like a
vehicle that they're
cockpit.
in. I don't hate this. That they I don't hate this. This is not bad to me.
I don't think it looks
They
terrible, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't love
At
it.
least they're the right color. You know what like it represents it reasonably well. When I look at these, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'd have to look at what it says.
This semi looks like a forest, but it being all yellow is weird. So looking at the okay, so in 25% of the first place box topper packs, one of the basic lands will be a 1 of 5 first place foil. They're panoramic lands, so they all link together? No.
I'll be honest, that sounds like bullshit. Yeah, I don't think they do though.
That doesn't look like they link together at all.
Yeah, no. Calling
How are they
that a
going to call it
liar.
panoramic if they don't? Isn't that the definition of panoramic? A
I
series of
believe so.
images that link together.
Yeah.
So I feel
So that you can like pan around. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that maybe they're just out of order. Because I think the forest, links up with the island, from like, because there's like the leaf here, or maybe this bridge. See this bridge, this bridge, like whatever this wall is, it does seep into here. But then this, I can't explain this. Okay, I don't know.
There are
And
a
then a
lot of
full art
vehicles in this. It's surprising no
driver's
one.
land.
Yeah.
Are you a big vehicle guy at all? You like vehicles?
I mean, I drive a 15-year-old Honda Civic. Let's go with a no.
No, I mean like like actual like mechanically like a vehicle, saddling like and crewing. Do you like
As in like
vehicles?
Magic the Gathering, not real life.
Yeah.
I think that I have not used it much in gaming. Have a good night, Time Capsule. Take care, dude. I've not actually played a lot with either saddle or crew, but I think that it's a really interesting mechanic and I'd like to lean into it more, especially because I'm a big fan of going token heavy and it's a great usage of them because far too often a handful of 1/1s are just useless, but throwing them in the saddle or helping them crew some giant mecha, I think that that's an interesting way to go.
I like that they're either a creature or not. It depends. And I like that like they kind of dodge board wipes, and some of them have like abilities that are super useful. Like for instance, Shorikai. Shorikai is one of my favorite vehicles.
Yeah.
This is
This has
so
got a
busy.
lot this looks like a different freaking game though. Like right here. This is a great
It's so
example
hard to
of
read, and it looks like
this looks like
80s.
Legion's Robes at War. I am distinctly unhappy with how this card is presented to us, man.
I don't mind the female. She looks well drawn, and
Yeah,
she's like, it's fine. I don't
cheers.
mind
I
like the
mean,
bike.
yeah.
The outer edges with the fire whipping in looks extremely cheesy. That's
I
just kind of
mean,
half. It's just I don't
and
know.
then you've
Like
got that one up there, the what do they call it? Fractured
fractured.
foil showcase version.
Yeah, this actually
It's
looks
going
better.
to be very expensive.
I think all of them
But
are.
it
Yeah, I
doesn't
think all.
actually look all that good. This is off of
I
what,
think it
Magic's
looks better
website?
because it makes the fire blend in more. This looks like the fire was added on by some third grader that just learned how to use Photoshop.
Oh yeah, that it's already like a template. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they
loaded
just like
up with
added their
that.
image into like this like fiery border,
Mhm.
and then this one at least blends in a little bit better.
So
And I'm sure
on
it probably looks
TCG Player,
crazy
it
in
looked a
person.
little bit different. It loads with all of the foiling on it a little bit different in TCG Player, so it actually looks a lot better.
With specifically Chandra.
Yeah, this. You can see all the foiling at the top of it, how they've done like fractured foiling on it. Yeah, it's surprising that it's the same card off of that site, but just looks better here.
I don't know. It looks kind of the same to me. I guess it looks slightly less fractured on your screen. I imagine they just used the same image, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I like this chrome box.
Yeah, I like how stark and contrasting the colors are on it, and the sea of mustard at the bottom is not the grossest thing in the world I've seen.
It's still bad, but yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they were just like, let's put yellow everywhere. Like, where does yellow come from? Like, why is it everywhere?
I think it's supposed to represent like gold, like first place,
But they use yellow, not gold. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Unless the images are just bad. Unless it's just like in person it looks gold, but on the card or on the images it looks yellow. That's the only thing I can think of.
And then from Dual Brain, we got those borders look like a teenager did it during class with highlighters.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done. Like, why have they done this?
I mean, go back up one. Yeah,
One?
this one here. This just looks like it should be on a t-shirt for a metal band from like late 80s.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Like rat racing is like a very popular thing.
Yeah.
This is like very like, so like they're trying to go with like chop shop rat racing. Like that makes sense at least in that way. Where like, but the problem is that they're trying to say the Aether Drift is like speed racer, chop
And
shop,
Mad
rat
Max. Yeah.
racer. Then there's like some like
But it's also Kaladesh inspired, so you've got
there's
this
also
whole like
motorcycles that are like futuristic looking, and then I actually can't tell what's behind there. I don't. What is that? It looks like a pair of
Aether Flux
jeans that are
Reservoir.
melting.
That's Aether Flux Reservoir. On the
Is
left
it?
hand side behind her shoulder.
It looks like a pair of blue jeans that are getting taken over by vines.
No, they've got all sorts of banners and stuff on it.
Can I? You know what's funny about this? I thought she was
and also
sticking her
Akira,
tongue out.
like for real. They should do a Mad Max secret lair for this. That is true.
In this image here, do you think that she's sticking her tongue out? Like kind of like she's like being all coy, like bleh. She's not.
Nah, she just got like
she's just got some weird shader on her chin that makes it look like her tongue sticking out from a smaller version. It's so weird.
It just looks like a different game. It's so different.
Well, that's like standard. I don't really like mind that necessarily. The text is readable if you zoom in and blow it up.
If you get really freaky close to it.
But other than that, I don't know. Like there are some banger cards. Like this card, yeah, like you were saying, you pulled up loot. I think it's a fantastic commander. You get the Ancestral Recall, Black Lotus, and Lightning Bolt, and you can just flicker them and then do it again.
Right.
It's pretty good. Conjurer's Closet, you can flicker it every turn, so you have access to it every single turn. That's the first card that I can think of that is pretty good. Deadeye Navigator goes infinite. It goes infinite as long as you can do it twice with mana you have outside of loot. So you can, because loot says you tap a green and you make 3 mana of any one color, you'd have to make 3 blue, flicker them, make 3 green, and then flicker them. But you'd have to have a green and a blue, or a green outside of the green to
start it off.
Makes. Once you start it, then it's infinite looping of itself. It's mana neutral. It's not mana like a.
I also
you
like
can
that
with things like impact tremors. Yeah. Impact tremors. Every time a creature enters the battlefield, they lose. Your opponents lose life. So if you do,
and it's not often that I would, give them accolades for tagging on more taglines, but having haste on that is very smart because of the exhaust mechanic. Like,
oh yeah,
it would be dumb if you couldn't.
Honestly, the double strike and the vigilance mean nothing. Like it's, I guess it's not nothing because with the vigilance, at least you can attack with it and still use its abilities, which is nice.
Yeah, Chuckles.
Um,
Honestly, when I first saw it, I was thinking this seems like a decent little commander.
this with
I don't know if
Cannon goes
I'd
infinite
make it,
mana
but I'd
because it
love to
caps for
see
more
a
mana.
play of it.
But yeah, loot is cool. Loot is a it's a you know what's funny? There's been a lot of loots that I wanted to make. I don't know what it is about. Like I don't know what loot is in the story of it or whatever. But he's a very powerful creature. Like
From what
all
I
of his
understand, he
versions
was
are
the
like
thing
very
in the
playable.
vault. Like in Thunder Junction, the big secret vault that they were all trying to find, he was what was in it. He was the loot. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. See what they did there?
Oh well. Yeah, this one here, loot. This guy here, he's another one that like he's a commander that I want to play. He's just not super strong, but being able to play an extra land every turn and then having the ability to pay 6 mana, look at the top 6, and you get whatever you want for free, and whatever creature you want, as long as you have lands, which you should. If you're paying 6 mana for his ability, you'll probably have 6 lands, especially in mono green, because that's the only problem is mono green. Like it's very powerful, but like I would like another color. And the new loot is cool because he has more than one color. Oh, and then there's also this loot. I forgot about this guy. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of your library. X is the number of card types among other non-land permanents you control. Yeah, so that's also another strong ability. He's just a very strong creature. But this one here, he's the one that I'll be building next. I built Ketramose first. Very strong.
Nah, not too much loot. So far, it's the right amount of loot. I like that they're trying to make loot into kind of the new mascot for the game. I could buy a plushie with that little critter on it.
Yeah, this is my favorite card from the set. When I first read it, I literally built the deck within I think the first day. Like the deck's built. I've already played it. I've played it 3
Oh,
times.
dang.
Um, because he's just a very strong, like, so it's one of the it's a god situation where like it's slightly different. It's indestructible, so it's a god. It's indestructible. Menace lifelink 4/4, but it can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. The thing that I like about this is like a lot of times your opponents will help you with the exile part if they're like
Yeah.
delving or exiling creatures with Path of
Yeah.
Exile or whatever. But also the main ability on the card, whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and lose a life. It sucks a little bit that it's only during your turn, but it would actually be insane if it wasn't.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I think this is just a fair blink commander. A lot of times you have blink commanders that are like super busted. This makes you play fair because you have to do stuff on your turn. Now you don't have to, but I'm playing him a blink commander that also has some graveyard shenanigans. Like one of the first cards that I really, really, really like when this card was first announced
Oh,
Unlicensed
Chuckles
first.
going to the pre-release for this one. I think that that'll be an interesting experience for sure. I I think the meta for this, like standard, there's going to be with all these new additions of vehicles and stuff. I could see a lot of standard decks being shaken up by this.
When this card was first released in Streets of New Capenna, I've been wanting to find a home for it, and this is a fantastic home for Ketramose because you're exiling cards from the graveyard, and then you're also getting benefit for it being if you want to accrue it. But it just turns on Ketramose's ability every turn, guaranteed, as long as there's something in the graveyard. Um, and then it also turns on Ketramose. So it's like I don't know. I think it's very cool. But yeah, I'll be going to the pre-release as well. I think that's what my
All
friends are
right.
just doing nowadays. We're just gonna just continue to go
Yeah.
to the pre-releases just for some funds. Was there anything else in this? Yeah, I didn't really notice. Most of the cards seemed bad. Honestly, like requiring max speed to use even this ability is terrible. It's so bad. It costs 3 mana, and then you have to discard a card, draw a card. But you only do it if you're max speed, so it's gonna take minimum 4 turns to turn
Yeah.
on max speed. And then you have to pay 3 mana too? Why isn't it just tap this card, draw?
Matt, I think you were a little bit more tuned in to this than I was about the finish line bundles. What was the scoop on that?
I thought they were okay value. Like they come with 2 collector packs, so like that's pretty
Okay,
good.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's
like
like the super gift bundle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of collector bundle that you have for this finish line bundle. So you've got
$80. That ain't bad. 2 collector packs, and
yeah, I'll just say the collector packs alone, that's basically
we'll call that
$60 in collector
$50.
packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going for $30 the collector packs right now.
Jeez, yeah.
But yeah, you get the foil box toppers, so you get those. You
Okay.
get 3
Okay.
extended art. I don't know what they are. They don't really show what extended art they are. But yeah, 2 collector boosters. You get 6 play boosters.
And
Um,
dang.
and then the standard 20 foil lands that'll Pringle and
You know,
uh,
Chuckles, I think in reviewing this, I might go ahead and pick myself up a couple of these. This does not look like a bad deal at all. Sterling, eh? Look at you go.
the thing that I'm reluctant on, I guess, is that
Mhm.
every time they've done one of these, I don't know, on TCG Player, for instance, the Nightmare Bundle. The Nightmare Bundle seemed more unique than this, and it's still $75. Or no, I guess last week we looked at them and they went up. Maybe they're. I'm just worried that they printed a bunch of them. Unless they finally went up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Coach. Is like with the addition of getting the box topper pack, eh, if you get one of the foil basic lands, that's probably going to end up being $5 to $10 right there. And then you're also getting a chance at a mythic or rare that's going to be in the super duper frame stuff. So I mean, this seems like a pretty decent little option here. I have
What's
not
weird
opened
about it
stuff in a while, so
is that it
might be a nice
says
little
2
treat for
foil
myself.
box topper cards,
Hmm.
but it doesn't say that it's a topper pack. Like, the reason why I say that there might be a difference is because when you look up box topper, and when you look up box topper, it's like a specific pack that has the 1-in-1.
Yeah.
And it also says they can be found. Oh no, this one does say here. This one says finish line bundles here. And another place on the website, on the exact same website, it doesn't say
There's
that they're
just
in both.
so many different marketing teams on this.
Yeah, see this one. When they first talk about it, they say play booster boxes and collector packs, and they don't mention finish line bundles at all.
Yeah.
But they do mention it here. I don't know, man.
Oh, so Chuckles, you're thinking Nightmare Bundles got scalped out and people were just hunting down special guests? And I don't think that this will be a whole lot different in all honesty. The fractured foils from the Transformers crossover, the shattered foil or whatever it was, those did really well. People went after those real hard and they still hold a pretty fair price. And they've got another version of those with this set. I could definitely see those keeping a pretty tasty premium. I mean, this is a kind of cool looking card to me. I'd see folks hunting this
It's a very
shit down.
powerful card.
Right? 2 black artifacts. Zombies control get 1/1. Not too bad for an anthem. A little expensive, but tap target creature in your graveyard gains embalm until end of the turn. It's equal to its mana. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Well, do you even know what embalm does?
Yeah, it's similar enough to flashback.
Pretty much. I don't know why they just didn't call it flashback.
Well, I mean, it's got to make it creepier. You know, it's a zombie, so it gets embalmed.
It's a creature. I don't know.
Yeah. And it becomes a zombie instead. So this buffs it on top of that.
What I thought was really strange about it is that it's a white zombie. Why is it a white
it's all
zombie?
in wrappings.
Most zombies are black. Why is it white?
Oh, the ability itself.
The token is it says it makes a white zombie.
I guess because it's making a mummy zombie. I don't know, dude. I just work here. But I think that as far as chase cards, there's definitely a lot going for this set. I'm definitely more interested in this than I was in Innistrad Remastered.
I ordered 2 collector boxes of Aether Drift and 1 play box is what I've ordered. But I got my collector boxes for $189 pre-ordered.
What
And
are
they're
they
like
now?
2 something. They're like 280, I don't know. Last time I looked they were
Yeah,
2 something.
that would not be surprising.
I'm curious what's going to happen with them because they had like a big spike at some point. Yeah, they're 285 right now. So I've got mine for $100 cheaper than they were released or than I got the pre-order at.
It's a mummy zombie. Look at the mummy tata. It's super
I
true
think
though.
she's. What do you mean? I can't say she's cute because you don't see her face, but it's a appealing.
That's a figure I'd like to calculate.
Yeah, it's a form of a body that I'd like. Like, she's got like. Well, the problem is she's got like super skinny waist and like super thick thighs, which I'm
Yeah,
cool with. But what
she's
I'm
got that
saying
like
is,
cartoonishly figure. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
her waist is so fucking skinny. It's not realistic.
yep,
Where's the realism in my Magic the Gathering? Hello?
yeah. That's exactly what I need. I need more anatomically correct Magic the Gathering cards.
I always find it funny that TCG player is typically more expensive than Amazon for like pre-orders of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
people
Pat, did you get any
realize shopping
Innistrad
around.
Remastered? I didn't either.
Nah, I didn't do any of that stuff.
It feels
I
like
didn't care for
it kind of just like went past us. Like I feel like I've like already forgot about it. Like I just who cares?
Pardon.
The only thing that I
was,
noticed from it is that Edgar Markov is now a reasonable price.
yeah,
He's like under 30
as we'd kind of figured.
Yeah.
And if anybody did get serialized versions of it, they're probably incredibly expensive.
Yeah, probably. Let's see if TCG player. Let's see if they have any serialized. Nope.
Do I want to get one of these bundles? They do look pretty cool. And you do get that nice
anymore.
little...
It's under $30 now. It's 30. I see 36 is the 30 36? Yeah. $36 for Edgar Markov now. You like got basically cut in half. That's pretty good. Most reprints typically do this. Like if you look at Urza Lord Artificer, he was like $30-$40 and now he's like $2.
He got reprinted in the freaking ground.
He got reprinted like 4 times. I don't think they should reprint Edgar Markov
very quickly too. Yeah.
Yeah, within a year there was like 3 reprints.
Yeah, $80 is reasonable for what you're getting out of that. Yeah, Edgar was pretty much like $100. That deck was
there's
crazy.
still versions of him that are 140. They're like a special. I'm guessing it's like a special commander only. Like the commander only version where it was first printed. So I think its first printing is still. Yeah, so the first printing is there's a Judge promo apparently $150, and then there is one up. There is 3 listed. The serial number serialized, so they're $3,450.
Yep. Like I said, they'd probably be pretty expensive. Coach chiming in saying they had a lot of Innistrad remastered cards just in different treatments, so it wasn't very intriguing for them either. Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, that's one of the things for me is Innistrad pretty much is vampires, werewolves, that kind of crap, spooky cards. It's not my kind of jam. So, wow.
493. I mean, look at the piles of cards behind us. I wonder how many they opened. That's a lot.
Oh, this was definitely like a hunt. They must have done a mass opening, like Willy Wonka style. They were hunting for a golden ticket.
Can I like go back and see the other ones? Because that was 493. What's this one? 318.
$3,500 for a magic card. Imagine.
Wait, hold on a second. Was that
imagine
Pringle?
someone's gonna buy it, but someone's probably gonna buy that shit for like $2,500.
Is that Pringled? It looks like it's tacoed.
It does seem as though the light shifts a little bit from one side to the next.
It doesn't look severely toggle, but it looks like the edges are lifted off the table a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be so sad if it was Pringled. Dude, speaking of Pringled, I
Mhm.
have a situation right now with my cards. I left them out in my basement, and
Sold one
apparently
for
the
3K.
humidity is only 35%, which says it's dry. But dude, my cards are pringling like a mother. Holy. I've got them in a
Sensitive, dude.
I've got them in a clamp right now. Like trying to get them to flatten the fuck out.
I mean, they're a sensitive thing. It's a bunch of different layers of composites and glues and all sorts of bullshit. No, that's not. Oh, Jesus. Yep, that's one way to do it.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm trying.
It seems like it should be effective. I
I've
mean,
got cardboard to like, cushion them, and I've got like sleeves also in between them as well. Yeah, I couldn't give two flips about the serialized cards, to be honest.
it
If I
doesn't
pulled
really do
one,
anything for me.
I'd
Yeah.
probably just sell it. Let's be honest.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we don't have Bob here tonight. Yeah, I would literally sell it. Like 100% clarity. I would tell him that for sure. But without a doubt, I pull something like that out the freaking gate. Like
I still keep looking at these Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle
the
Earth for
collector. Yeah.
$1,400, and I'm like, I have one of these I could sell right now. I just don't. I don't know if they're gonna go up. So I'm
You
like
don't know if
over
they're going to go
time, I'm sure
down
they will,
either.
and
I
it's
mean,
unlikely they go down.
you can realize
There's
your
such a
gains.
there's such a low quantity. Like right now, there's only 41 available on TCG Player total. That's
Just
like
make
pretty
sure to sell
low.
it in time so you can buy a whole bunch of the Final Fantasy product.
What about the Fallout ones? Fallout. Yeah, I might actually buy a case of Fallout collector boxes if I have the chance to buy them from my buddy.
Use the humidifier and then a vice.
So do they curl when they're dry or do they curl when they're moist?
I think it's like 50-50. It's 30-30-30 realistically. 30% of the time it's change going up, 30% of the time it's going down, 30% of the time it's just a poorly made card. Like, some of the Commander Legend stuff, they were just atrocious. And then you get the etched foils and they were perfectly flat. So it's just a little here, a little there. And changes from
Holy,
set to set too.
the Fallout boxes are up to $930 now.
Jesus Christ. I
I've
think
got
I
two of those
sold
bad boys.
one. I think I sold mine because I had two. I opened one and I sold one. And I want to say it was at like $400, something like that, 400 or 500. And I was like, there's no way this can keep going up. That's ridiculous. Shit, well, I was very wrong. Crow. It tastes so good.
That does make sense, Chuckles. If because like in my basement, it's probably the room that changes the most drastically in temperature. When I'm out of my basement, like when I go like shut down for the night, turn off the computer, the room gets down to like the 60s in the basement.
Right.
But then when I come down, well, 60, like I'll say like 60, like 8, and then I turn on the computer, and then over the time of like gaming and just like me being in here, the room gets up to like 75 by the end of the night, and that happens like most nights. So the room's fluctuating within 10 degrees every night. So I'm guessing that's just causing it to slowly warp and go up.
Lived in Boston, had to rehydrate them and then press them. I mean, I keep most of my cards in just like deck form, so it's not too big an issue for me realistically, but unfortunately I do have a fair amount of cards kind of just laying around piles and stuff, so deal with it. Such is life.
65% humidity.
Struggles being a gamer.
I'll have to look into. I'm sure there's videos on how to flatten the cards because like some of them are getting like real. Like some of my lands, like my favorite lands are getting warped. The even the whatchamacallit. Actually, these aren't even foiled. What? Oh no, they are foiled. Okay, I don't know. They're very warped. My Phyrexian, the oil slick lands, those are getting warped.
Yeah.
Some of them were
jeez.
like very warped, and I didn't think they would get warped at all. They
Yeah.
did, but they're getting warped like years after I opened them. It doesn't really make I thought they would only get warped after printing, but apparently they can warp
Over
just whenever.
time. Yeah, I mean, keeping them in top loaders, like there's a
Yeah,
maximum
I
that they're
shouldn't leave
able to
them just
turn,
out.
you
Right
know.
now, they're just literally sitting on a shelf in my basement.
Yeah.
Even though the humidity's low, I thought low humidity was good. 35%. I thought that was great, but apparently
It's
it's
not
not.
super low. It's not
My
high, but for
my thing says
indoors
hot.
in
My thing
winter
says
time,
dry. Like I've got a little like thingy.
hygrometer,
It says it's 71 in here and 35%. I don't know what RH stands for.
relative
Really hot.
humidity.
Oh, relative. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 35%. I don't know. I thought that was fine.
MTG North flattens foils with a damp sponge in a humidor and seems to work for them. Well, those Canucks, they're smart ones. The freaking Dr. Robotnik mustache that guy's got, impressive.
I have to buy a humidor to flatten my magic cards. But isn't a humidor just a cigar box?
Yeah, it's a fancy one. It's
What's so
so that
fancy
it keeps
about
like
it?
a certain amount of humidity in there. Yeah, it would be a reasonably small amount. That's what I'd figure. Yeah. Things that are not
You think I
small
could just
amounts.
spray them with some water and they'll be?
Yeah, right. Go 8th place Dave on that shit. Things that had not been a small amount though. The hours I've been putting on Stardew Valley, it is definitely got me sucked back in.
I've never
I'm
played
gonna
that game.
I'm gonna start a playthrough of it and actually record it and put out some content. I've been kind of lackadaisical on that, but I'm gonna start a new farm. I'm gonna go for it, man. I'm gonna do a recording.
You know what I've been playing a lot of?
The pocket pool. I see. I got you there.
Path of Exile 2.
No shit. You've been getting back into it.
I tried this. So the night that I rage posted about like what I hated about the game, I decided that like the next day I would try to reset my mental and just go in expecting to have no fun. I was expecting to hate it, right? Like sometimes you expect
Okay.
like when
Yeah.
you expect
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
to be super good and you're like, I'm gonna love this. Sometimes it's just bad. You get like your expectations are so high that you just like it falls flat and it feels terrible. So then I decided, what if I expect logging in, I expect that I'm gonna hate everything about it. And then I'm gonna like try and I ascended my character. He's fully ascended now. He's level 91. I'm like full tier 15 maps. I've killed 2 citadels so far. So like I've done some endgame stuff. I got super lucky with my ascendancy. You know how you have to do those trials to ascend? The last
trial of
trial,
Succumbus.
the
Yeah.
last trial of Sekima is very difficult.
Mm.
And I got one of the boons that says you take no damage until you complete the next room on both of the last bosses of floor 3 and 4. So I was
Mark,
completely
that
immune
ain't
to the
bad.
boss fight.
$20 humidor on Amazon with a hydrometer. I spend $20 on stupider things. Amazon has shown me that.
Well, why do you need a humidor? Why not like Coach? Why not, what's I guess what's the I don't know what the science behind a humidor versus like a container that just has a sponge in it.
Yeah, I guess realistically, you could probably trick out a Tupperware container and it would do a lot of the work for you.
DIY humidor.
And it just shows you like a cigar box.
Building humidor DIY. Humidors are a relatively simple tool when you break it down. Wood, humidity controlled, a lid, sure. Add in a hydrometer, hygrometer. What the hell's a hygrometer?
Hygrometer.
To help regulate the relative humidity, but stranded on a desert island with no options, you could get by.
Straight on a desert island.
So it looks like it's just a box with a hole in it.
Yeah. Got a stack of foil sent with some moisture packets. Top card of the packet is resting on a perfect flag. It's like, let's curl every card down.
But I want to be able to do more. I have like stacks of foils that I would like to
Yeah, like
flatten
knee
out.
high. Yeah. Well, dang, it's almost 8 o'clock here. We gotta do that shilling, Matt. So hey, if you guys want to get more out of us, we do at least a half hour members only stream after we finish up here. We'll be going live, members only stuff. Let me go ahead. I'm going to slowly work on getting you the link for that. We are able to be a little bit looser on it, so it's definitely 18 plus kind of stream. You're not seeing my titties or anything, but you will get us a little bit more cussing, a little bit more direct contact, that kind of thing.
Horizontal.
So, yes, exactly. Literally a different format. Get shareable link. Hey, look at you go.
Slightly more awake.
But see, this one I'm going to make sure is members only this time before I publish it.
Was it not already set as members only?
No, and I definitely forgot to do that last time, remember?
Yeah, I remember. I just figured you would have fixed that this week.
Yeah, I just say that it's members only, and then trick.
Got some freebies, but yeah, it's only $1 a month, and you get some benefits. There's a Discord as well. One of these days, I'll figure out how people can link their YouTube with their Discord, and then they can get some special chat that only members have access to, which will be pretty cool. Ooh. I need to use the Discord more often. I really don't.
I was actually talking in Discord today with Richie. It was good to chat with him. I don't like Discord very much.
I like Discord. It's great.
It's not a very usable interface. Like they seem to make the UI is terrible. They need an overhaul on that shit.
Really? Seems fine to me.
It's gross.
Oh, here we go. What you'll need: a 24-ounce rectangular plastic container with a lid, a sponge, 2 plastic bags, a cigar cutter, and a rubber band. The hell do you need a cigar cutter for?
Yeah, that seems kind of odd. It was just scissors.
So all this guy did was take a sponge, put it in a plastic bag, poke some holes in it, and then put a lid on it. It's just a Tupperware container.
Yeah, 35 hours in Stardew in the last week, 2 weeks. That's not too bad. It's not
are you a cigar smoker?
I have had more than a few cigars. Normally what I do with cigars is I take a razor blade and I cut it down the lengthways and I take all the stuff out of it and I just jam herb in it instead.
Ah.
Yeah. That's the traditional way to smoke it where I grew up. But so yeah, cigars ain't too shabby.
Isn't that called freaking it?
What? No, that's rolling a blunt. It's just literally just.
No, I'm pretty sure it's called freaking. There's a term. When I was younger, they call freaking cigars. They would freak it. I think you take all the stuff out and you stuff it with something else. I'm pretty sure it's called freaking the cigars.
What? That is wild. We are literally talking about the same thing. I mean, there's 2 different ways. You can use a razor blade, cut it, and then you have to roll it back up and you have to lick it and reseal it. That's one way to do it. Or you can do what I've heard people call a Gotti, Gotti, where you just slowly roll out all of the material from it, never breaking the outer layer on it, and then you pack it full again.
It's legit. How to freak a black and mild cigar. Freaking is also known as champing or hyping. It's the process of removing the inner. Oh, that's what it was. It was you remove the filter paper from the black and mild because people didn't like the filter paper. It made it taste gross. So you take all the tobacco out, you take out the paper that's in there, and then you put it back in.
Oh, okay. It seems like a lot of work to smoke a black and mild.
You may want to freak a black and mild to make the tobacco more flavorful or to change the rate at which it burns. However, removing the filter paper doesn't actually make the cigar any safer to smoke. Contrary to popular belief.
Safer. It's a fucking black and mild. How do you think you get a voice like mine? It's not safer, duh.
Lots of cigarettes.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, Jesus, this guy's smart. He puts a sponge in a salt shaker because it has the holes on the top, so then it can slowly moderate the moisture.
Oh, interesting. Just put it in the microwave. This shit'll be fine.
There's a YouTube video, homemade cheap humidor.
What about you? You just been putting all your time into Path of Exile too? That's been your jam lately, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
I
well, there
played a
you
little
go.
bit of. I had some internet issues last night, which I have a tech coming in the morning to fix it.
Ooh.
I've had like the last like couple nights I've had internet dropping out, and it's really fucking annoying. So I'm like, all right, well, it's time to schedule the Cox cable technician. This like it's like my once every year to schedule. It seems to
Just to tune
happen
up.
where
Yeah.
my yeah my I don't know if it's like a squirrel or something's chewing the cable lines or something again. I don't know.
It's like going to your eye doctor. It's just gotta get my
My
internet
yearly check.
appointment.
I've got to get the guy out here to. He's already replaced the drop to my house twice. Why not a third time?
I think the
Yeah, I
sponge
feel like
thing
the
would work.
hydrometer is just a scam. I feel like I just like a plastic container with a sponge and like some holes
I think the
poked into a
hydrometer is
plastic
probably
bag.
the hydrometer is a good idea if you have one. They're reasonably cheap.
Sorry,
I think
humidor,
the
whatever.
humidor is probably a bit of overkill.
Yeah,
But if you want more content like this, you'll have to check us out at our members only episode coming up next. So go ahead and click the link down below for the low price of 99 cents a month. You can get more from us.
that's what I'm thinking. Tupperware with a sponge. That's what. Or I'll use these packets that my dad has. They're like for pot.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It comes in all the jars of weed I buy.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, until next week, take care, y'all. Bye now.